Morning everyone. It's an update on the swing charts for the 2nd of September 2016. Leading on from yesterday, we had the bearish bias put in up here that I spoke about. Cautiously bullish going into the session. We had a little squeeze higher and then we started to fail. That was the clues really up here for me to look for the shorts. We had the flush into our low 3000s, and we didn't get as low as the gap fill on the cash, which was at 01s. But we had clues that we were stalling out here. We had these previous highs in here, this high here before where we found some aggressive sellers, and I think this was after this rotation lower. This was quite a decent rotation lower for pre non-farm payrolls. So I think you had to, if you weren't aggressively taking profits here for now, then I think you were just gambling really, just that we're going to collapse. I don't think that there was, especially the way these Bollinger Bands have turned up here. When you first come into them, if they're sloping like this, you want to be a bit more cautious on on betting that it's just going to slide straight through them. So going forward, also we had the volatility came into its second standard deviation band here, and it sold off aggressively afterwards. So that to me is telling me you need to be careful into the cash close, and that's still. Had you seen this volatility come straight back off again, you could have got out your shorts into the cash close around 15s, probably somewhere around there, and you'd have missed it. You wouldn't be still short now. Going into the session, I think we need to be a little bit more cautious. The way that we reacted, to the downside when it occurred, it makes me feel like we're going to see one more high before we go, and this volatility looks to me like it's going to set up and do another low, and then we turn up, because these things, they never go straight away. They always take longer than you'd expect. So we're keeping an eye on that. So I'll be definitely keeping an eye on any swing failures into this low here. Yesterday's low in the volatility. Let me see what the low was. Low was 2090. So I'll be watching 2090 for any swing failures on the volatility index. And as far as the futures of the Euro Stoxx futures here, I don't know here, but I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to update going into the session. It's bearish to me, but I'm always cautious about getting over bearish after a large sell-off. Be probably more interested in selling a move back to the mid 40s, but keeping in mind that we do have this swing high at 65. So if I was going to build a short position up here, I'd probably make sure that I can handle a stop run through 65. I don't think we'll see much upside through 65, but if it trades, if you get short and it trades 66s and that's your stop, then you're kind of asking for trouble with a stop like one tick above the swing high. So I'd make sure that if I was selling anywhere up here, I could either say, okay, it either turns here and moves lower, or I can build a short position going up into here if you agree with the bearish bias. I think the easier trade will be to wait for more clues from the volatility index, and it's not giving you any clues other than, for now, it hasn't really made its turn. I'd much rather see it swing fail, or it start to close with it between this 1 +1 +2 Bollinger Band. I don't think I've got much else here. I think those options that I mentioned on Twitter gave some, no one traded them. After I mentioned them, they doubled in value, but no one traded them. And then they just settled at their last price, which was where they were when I mentioned that I thought they were good value. Obviously, when an option goes up 100% intraday, if you're not taking profits on at least partial of your position, you're probably a bit crazy. But yeah, I don't really have a huge amount else. It's non-farm payrolls today and going into the long weekend, to the Labor Day weekend. So it might be it might be a little bit subdued later on in the day after non-farm payrolls. But I'm expecting some good volatility over the payrolls because we'll talk about whether it will change what the Fed will do. But I'm not a fundamental guy, so I'm not overly worried. But I think it should give us some volatility during the session. For now, bias is probably neutral because of, we had this sell-off and we got this week, well, not this week high, but this August high up here that concerns me. I don't mind selling rallies, but cautiously selling rallies. I'm not, because of this volatility. This volatility is not telling me, get short, aggressively get short just yet. So I'm just going to wait it out and just pick my spots and then see what it tells me intraday. I'll update my bias again. So if you just follow that hashtag on Twitter, so it's